Hey yo, what is going on guys? Cash and Clean here. So we got some new PTS patch notes and I am not too happy about these ones either, but it's a start to something maybe better. Now I'm gonna have some mixed opinions about this, but I guess we'll leave this up to you guys if you think this is towards a W or towards an L. Because right now I feel like we're right in the middle. So one of the issues being that the block was in the way when you hovered over certain UI things. So this, for example, the block would just appear. Now they fixed that. So, you know, just quality of life, just, you know, something that probably should have been fixed a while ago, but we got it fixed. And then we got some interesting things about the gems. So I just re-exported my account, so I no longer have the sigil and stuff like that. But the crazy thing is that we got more lights, if you guys can even believe that. So I'm at 13.3k lights. I believe that's how much I showed you guys last time. But like I said, I re-exported my account, so that means I don't have my gem progresses anymore. So I'm at level 30 for everything. They're mystic, but they're level 30. So we have a new max light, which I believe was 13.9k or 13.7k. It was somewhere around that. I don't think it's enough to do void difficulty in delves, unless you're activating Berserk Battler. But even when you do like no damage, so it doesn't really help too much there. Also, we have so much light now. I forgot to swap my ally. So 13.5k light, so that's my bad, and my gems aren't upgraded, but that means we technically don't have to use Scorpius. We don't really need the 400 light, so things like the mana beast or anything that'll get you extra coefficient will probably benefit you a little bit more. Because if you guys didn't know, there is a light cap depending on where you go, and if you're fighting bosses, then there is no light cap. It doesn't matter, you can have as much light as you want. And from sources, I was told that 12.9k is the cap for D15. Now obviously I don't know, I'm just going based off of what somebody else said, but if that's true, 12.9k, then we don't really need this extra lights. I mean, you will for delves, for like bosses, or if you're just fighting a boss in general, but the fact that we can have even more coefficient now is actually insane. So yeah, that was part of the patch notes. They fixed some of the power rank and the light scaling for the gems. So right before I exported my account, I dropped to like 55k power rank, and in my previous videos, I believe I was at like 56k. And at some point, I do want to make a gem video and just see if they changed really anything with the mystic gems, but it says that the upgrade cost for 1 to 30 has been fixed to existing upgrade prices. So I'm assuming this is for mystic gems. If you guys didn't know, for crystal gems, you could take it to level 1 to 25, and then after that, you would need the new resources. I'm assuming this is talking about mystic gems, and you can take it to 1 to 30, but I have to do more testing as I don't have any of those gem boxes right now. But I'm gonna make a video for that later on. And then I'm not sure if I said this in my last video, but now we can do stuff with our 10th lives and our 9th lives. So here you can craft up towards a 9th life. Here you can convert your 9th lives to a 10th life, only 15 a week. And then if you wanted to, if you don't want any more 10th lives, and if you're a new player, for example, and you actually need your 9th lives, then you can convert them back. Because if you didn't know, 9th lives do not work on mystic gems. You will need that for the previous rarities, so like stellar and crystal. And once you're all done and you need your mystic gems, then you can swap over to 10th lives. So it is a 1-to-1 ratio. I still don't understand why they even gave us this, but I guess we have to deal with it now. Doesn't seem like they're gonna really change it. And before I talk about the main part of this video, the main reason why I'm even making this video is that they fixed the Gunslinger ultimate. So if we hop on over to Gunslinger, they actually fixed the ultimates. So if we use it, then yeah, there we go. So now we have a non-40-second ultimate, and it should last for as long as it said it should. I think it was like 11 seconds. And then finally, an actual W, which should have been fixed ages ago, is that the vacuum is fixed as intended, but I also heard somebody say that it wasn't. I'm not sure if they even tested it on PTS, but I mean, the devs said that they're fixing it when this goes to live servers. I'm not sure if it's going to be for all platforms at the same time. It should, but I know for a fact that PC should be getting it fixed. And also, another thing in the news before we get into the big stuff is that for the gems, so the mystic gem converter, I have confirmed that it will be the exact same cost. And we already knew that, but I wasn't sure about the cubits, and I'm sure some people also weren't sure. But I got some confirmation, 15k cubits. I mean, I really hope they don't increase it, but that's what I was told. I was told 15k. So if you wanted to use a mystic gem converter for all 18 classes, it's going to cost you 3,240,000 cubits. So I guess, I don't know if anyone even has that many cubits, but that's kind of a lot. But for one class, it'll be 180,000 cubits. So that is also a lot. So if you're an endgame player or even a mid-game player still saving up your cubits, I mean, there's still so many things to use your cubits on, but in case you have them, then you could do it for one full class, or you could just do it for the empowered gems and just farm a new sets. But it also depends on your bound brilliance and other resources, so I guess it's gonna kind of depend. But now for the main portion of this video. So if you guys remember in the past, I opened a bunch of these boxes over here, and even at 55k power rank, I was not able to drop a mystic piece. But on the patch notes, it says that that Mystic weapons, helmets, and face masks with 3 or more stars will now loot collect into Soul of the Depths. So when I first saw this, I was like, wait, this is actually kind of amazing. I don't know why it's a 3-star, but maybe we can get them from these boxes. Well, so far we cannot. So that's one thing. Secondly, I was like, okay, let me see what it's like for a max mystic now. Maybe they changed the loot collecting options. Well, it is still 1 Soul of the Depth. So I don't know how they expect us to get this 3-star, because I guess from Gear Crafter Vaults you can get a 2-star or a 3-star. Very rarely the 3-star. But like 1 Soul of the Depth? Are they really making fun of us at this point? What are we supposed to do with 1? Do they realize that we need 5,000 of these things to max out 1 full set? And then on top of that, what are we supposed to do with these other materials? And also, why is a 5-star mystic so terrible to loot collect? You know how long and difficult it is to upgrade one of these things? Just makes you wonder if they still even play their game. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't want to rant on it too much because this whole update has been pretty upsetting for the most part. I'm kind of like half and half on it, but I'm leaning more towards 40%-ish right now. Maybe even 30 at this point. So I guess the halfway point is gone, but I really have no idea. I don't know why it's 1 Soul of the Depth. What are we supposed to do with 1? Are they thinking that we're duping these boxes? I don't understand. I also don't really understand the point of 3 stars. Like, how are we supposed to profit off of that? That just makes no sense at all, but I don't know. I guess with more complaints, more feedback in the PTS channels for the Trove Discord server, maybe with more awareness, more team effort about coming together as a community to be like, hey, we don't like this, let's change this. And then, you know, maybe the devs will change it, but I guess that's the only thing that we can do. We have like a specific chat for the content creators, and I gave out my opinions about everything pretty much. Well, not everything completely, like I didn't really talk about the block. The block is fine in my opinion, but I kind of shared my thoughts about everything overall, so I guess we'll see what they have to say about that. But so far no response has been given, and usually updates go out whenever there's like less and less things being added to the PTS, but it seems like they're still adding stuff, so it's making me wonder if it's not going to be pushed out next week. Like if I had to guess, right after Labor Day Monday. So on Tuesday, this update should hit on PC, but it's making me wonder if it'll just be pushed back to the week after. And then for consoles, I'm guessing maybe a month later. Unless there's another huge duping issue, then maybe 6 months later. I have no idea. They didn't give us a date for anything. But the main important thing is that they better fix the vacuums. I still don't understand how to this day they even managed to break that. Because it broke with the event. The event had nothing to do with Geode. There was nothing even farmable in that event. There's nothing we could do. I'm pretty sure most people just AFK'd ships. But it makes you wonder, was that the only thing they're working on? Are we getting a rework or an update potentially for Geode? I guess we'll have to find out in the next episode. Now, there's no next episode, but that is going to be the end of this video. If you guys have enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or if you find yourself coming back, and I'll talk to you guys later. Yo, Cash and Clean from the future here. One thing I forgot to mention is that the upgrade cost has been curved. I'm on the live servers right now, so I don't have Mystic, but I will try to farm up some gem boxes and see if we really need 10th lives to upgrade from 30 to 35, because it would make sense if we just needed it for the last 2 levels and then maybe just use luck bugs beforehand. I don't know how terrible the success chance is for leveling up gems with Mystic, but I will have to see and let you guys know.